Hello, YouTube. Hey, you remember that Let's Play I started a long time ago, like a month ago? It was in honor of Star Wars The Last Jedi coming out, and it was, a Let's Play of this really cool thing. Yeah, and everyone remember that? Yeah, I remember that. And here it is. We're back finally. It's only been a month. Dear God, I'm terrible at this. Yeah, so it's been a month. Literally, I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, this is live, by the way. We're doing this live commentary because I can't remember what's going on, so I figured I'd stop in live and just do this. Also, I'd just rather get it all out of the way in one go, as opposed to doing this in post, even with my coughing. If it gets really quiet, though, I'll edit in some me talking outside of this, but hopefully it won't get quiet, because I'm going to just blabble on. It is a RTS. I should be able to babble about some stuff. So, this is supposed to be where I would talk about The Last Jedi, and being it's been out for a month now, I don't feel too worried about any spoilers, but if anyone hasn't seen it yet, and intends to, for whatever reason you haven't seen it, and it's been out for like a month, spoiler alert. There it is on the screen. You see it? Good. No complaining about spoilers in the comments, because there are going to be spoilers for the rest of the video. It is a standing alert for the rest of the video. Thank you. Anyways, so in terms of the game, I think we had conquered Ord-Trasi. We were going to fortify the shit out of it, I think. Yes, here's our Empress station coming in. We're going to fortify the shit out of this planet. Angle the defenses in this general direction probably be best. We'll put the station like right there. We're going to put the defense... I actually don't know how my organized defenses were. I think I put them on the far side of the planet, but it's okay. We'll put this one on the front. So, yeah. The Last Jedi. I freaking loved that movie. It was amazing. It was not quite what I was expecting. Perhaps not quite what I was hoping for either. But nonetheless, it was a good movie. Now, before we get going on my Last Jedi spiel and conversation, I think we were going to launch an attack on Maltha Orbex because that's the first order. wrong lore here. The Pentastar alignment. Yes, that's who we're fighting. Keep attacking Burgess up here, like they keep hammering it with massive fleet attacks over and over and over and over. And it's getting quite nightmarish. So we were going to attack that, I think, but I'm actually going to go down here and I'm going to clean out what's going on down here. I'm going to see what's going on down in this area, because this was the area that belonged to the other empire. So I'm assuming the other group is the first. Oh my god. The Pentastar alignment is going to be down here, so we're going to take a look-see, and we're going to go kick them out if they're down there. Then we're going to sort of fight our way up and around, because Burgess is pretty well fortified, and I think it'll hold. But this side of the world is a little less fortified. So, oh my dear god, I wish my chair... I need a new chair, guys. Tax return comes in, I'm buying a new chair, so I'll stop complaining about it in my videos. Jesus. Anyways, what was I saying? Right, Last Jedi talk. So I really loved the movie. I wasn't what I was expecting. I was not really expecting what they did with it, but in the end, I think I did really appreciate it. It was a really good movie, and I think they did a really good job. There were only a few bits of cheese that I didn't like throughout the movie. One of those bits of cheese was the unusually large amount of humor that was in this. Because yes, there was some humor in The Force Awakens, but this one felt like they really were trying to shove that humor down your throat, like really hardcore, shove it down your throat kind of thing. So it was a little weird, to say the least, that they were shoving it down your throat a little bit, but it's okay. But it was okay in the end. I enjoyed the movie. I did really enjoy the movie. So that is the most important part, is I did enjoy the movie. My favorite scenes in the movie, again, massive spoiler alert. If anyone wants to not be spoiled, don't watch this video. There's spoilers. I'm just saying it again, because, people, sometimes they don't pay attention. Okay? Spoilers. Incoming. My favorite scenes were probably the scenes Ironically, not the space battles. Usually space battles are always my favorite scenes, but ironically, I didn't find the space battles all that, to be honest, I didn't find the space battles all that interesting. I mean, they were good, don't get me wrong, but the bombers at the start were just so ridiculously slow that it just made it a little hard to, I don't know, it just felt so illogical. Like, why would you build bombers that slow? What is this? You know, it looked like it was like they were trying to make World War II. Like, they were like World War II bombers, like those big ones that were multi-crewed. Yeah, like a B-17 or something. It was weird. So, I don't know. The space battles were cool and all, but I mean, there was only one major space battle. The rest was more of a space chase scene. But my favorite, I'm thinking my favorite two scenes in the movie probably were, number one is probably when Luke came out to face Kylo, just because it's freaking Luke facing Kylo, which is pretty cool. Now, if you've seen the movie, we all know that, you know, it wasn't actually Luke facing Kylo, which is fine, but spoilers. Spoiler alerts everywhere, guys. But it was really cool. But my second, but you know, it's unfortunate that it wasn't really Luke facing Kylo, but let's be perfectly honest. Just judging by, well, first off, Luke, of course, has been sitting on a random planet all by himself for who knows how long now. So, it's a pretty good bet that he, even if he you know, he might not be the best combatant at that point. He may not be very good at fighting anymore because he's been sitting on a planet all by himself for a while. He might not even freaking have his lightsaber anymore, guys. At all. He might not even have his lightsaber anymore. We have no idea. He's been sitting out on Octu. I think it's Octu, right? The little planet? Yeah. All alone for ages. We have no idea at all, really, what he's been up to. And I would assume not very much, would be my guess. He's probably not been doing very much. He's probably just kind of been hanging out there, not doing anything of particular merit. And, maybe meditating every now and then, I don't know. But, personally, I think the way they did it was probably the best way it could have been, because I don't think Luke would have really been able to fight Kylo the way that we've all wanted him. I mean, I wanted him to just straight up actually lightsaber duel and, like, show off all his cool moves that I would expect him to have as a Jedi Master now, because, you know, last we saw he had just become a Jedi Knight and really wasn't necessarily a Master, but he was sort of on that road. Like, he had become a Jedi Knight, like a full Knight. He beat Darth Vader, sort of. Well, actually, he did beat Darth Vader. And then Darth Vader killed the Emperor, and that was the last time we saw Luke. And we don't know what happened between then and now. So I really wanted to see him come back as, like, an ultimate badass. And in the end, he kind of was. But he embodied the Jedi way of, he didn't come out and just straight up fight Kylo, which would have been suicide anyways, because he would have died based on the scenario. If the scenario played out exactly the same, except that Luke actually showed up in person, yeah, he would have died. If it played out differently, like if they made the scenario different, like Luke just showed up on the Supremacy when Rey and Kylo are having their, whatever it was they were doing in that moment, fighting over the thing. Hey, look, a fleet. Oh, shit. 1 second, guys. I just realized that the music in the background is fully copyrighted, and I don't know why I'm letting that play. Oops. It's okay. They're not monetized videos, so it makes no difference to me, but oops. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, I think the way they did it was probably the best way they could have done it. I mean, it would have been nice if he didn't die after it. Like, if he came back in Episode 9 and was actually in Episode 9 physically and not dead. But, I mean, I get it. You know, they're doing their thing. But it's a shame that he's dead now, because I kind of wanted to see him do some, like, more... You know, he didn't even train Rey. Let's be honest now. He didn't do very much in terms of training Rey. It was more about him whining the whole time than anything else, which was the weirdest thing. Because we all expected him to come back as the ultimate badass. But in the end, he didn't really come back as a badass, did he? He kind of came back as like a whiny child. Well, not a whiny child. A grumpy, whiny old man. Like, complaining about all the things. You know, like, that's really what he came back as. Like, he didn't come back as the ultimate badass at all. In the end, he sort of was badass with the whole, you know, making his form appear across the galactic void. I don't actually know how far Octu was away from Crate. Yes, Crate. But I'm assuming really, really far. Maybe not too far, but I mean, the Millennium Falcon's really, really fast in light speed because of the modifications and all whatnot. So, you know, 'tis a thing, isn't it? But anyways, yeah. I think the way they did it was pretty neat. I wish that he wasn't dead, but I think that's just the nostalgia in me. I mean, I'm not one of those people who watch Star Wars in the theaters. I didn't see any like that. But I've been a big Star Wars fan, and when they made new ones with old characters, I was really hoping that Luke was going to come back as a badass, because I've read all the things, not all of it, but I've read bits about him in Legends and all the cool stuff he does in Legends, and I was hoping for a little bit of that. Not all of it, because obviously, you know, he's older now, and they're going to be moving on to these new characters. I'm not expecting him to hang around for the whole series. I was easily expecting they're going to kill off all the original actors in these movies, which they have so far. And they've only brought 3 of them back. Only 3 of those original actors came back, the big 3. And so far, 3 of them are dead. I mean, Chewie is a costume, so Chewie could be literally anybody, worn by anyone. They don't have to kill Chewie off in terms of character, because character doesn't have to age. He's one giant walking carpet costume, so there is no issues there. But it's just yeah, I mean, it was still one of my favorite scenes when Luke fought Kylo, and it was funny because when he came out and I saw the lightsaber on his belt for like half a second in one of the scenes, it was probably deliberate, but I saw it and I was like, wait, that's Anakin's lightsaber. And I'm like, no, hold on a moment. And for a moment, I really did think, oh my gosh, did the movie people really fuck that up? And then I started to think about it. I'm like, no, they couldn't have. The only reason I would have thought they would have made that as like a legitimate mistake, that they put the wrong lightsaber on with Luke, is if he didn't have his green lightsaber at another point in the movie, which he did. It was there. So clearly they knew. So it wasn't a mistake. It was an actual holy crap, it's a lot of missiles. It was an actual artistic choice to give him the blue lightsaber. And I'm sure there's some logical reason why he used it. I've seen some reasons. Some people thought about different reasons why he's probably used it. Some of them are saying that when Luke originally wielded Anakin's lightsaber was when he was probably the most pure and truly like good of who he was, because after, you know, his green lightsaber, he used it to almost kill Ben, which in his mind makes it kind of bad. I've heard all kinds of weird rumors and theories about why he used the blue one in his little image as opposed to his green one. And I could see that. I could see that being a thing, that maybe, because obviously this is an image of himself. You know, it's not like a photo. This isn't like a camera pointed at him making a hologram. This is him literally projecting an image of himself across the way. So he probably made up everything about that image. So it's not just... He chose that lightsaber mentally for a reason, and that reason may have to just be because it relates to him when he was in an more innocent time, when he was more... possibly naive, maybe a little optimistic, too optimistic perhaps. It's hard to say, but I don't know. I think it was interesting. I would have loved to see with his green lightsaber, but it's all right. I'll forgive. And that little fight scene, it's not even more of a fight scene. It's more of a, I would say more of a you suck, Kylo kind of a fight, because let's be honest, he doesn't really fight Kylo. He dodges around Kylo a few times and then disappears when Kylo finally and then pulls the Ben Kenobi, I will always be with you when you strike me down, which is not a Ben Kenobi thing, but he kind of does the thing where he just sort of stops and goes, look, bro, this planet's still controlled by AI? Really? Oh. He just kind of goes, yeah, so, hey, bro, listen, if you strike me down in anger, I will always be here. Just like your father. Probably because Ben killed Han Solo, his father, in anger, more or less. And because of that, he's always going to be there. Like, he's always going to be thinking about him. He's always going to remember him. And that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is going to be quite the fight. Shit. We got a fight going on now, guys. a second. Just gotta get a good screenshot for the. It's amazing how big this ship is. Just gotta get a good screenshot for the thumbnail because, unlike my Fallout Who series, I'm not using generic thumbnails. There, get a couple shots there. It's like they're either regrouping or they're retreating. I think they were regrouping. Yeah, it looks like they were regrouping around the Death's Hand over here. So we're going to strike that down. Don't see any big ships. I think we're okay. I don't think they have their Titan here. Now these guys pack a heck of a lot of turbo laser firepower. So these Dauntlesses are really, really strong. So we're just like obliterating their fleet right now. Bit by bit. Ooh, ion cannon blast to that Star Destroyer. What class of Star Destroyer is that anyways? Is that a... Oh jeez. Is it a regular ones? Are these regulars? No, those are different. These are modified versions because they've got the extra turbo lasers. I'm not sure what kind of... Is that a Tector? A Tector Star Destroyer? No, I think it's a completely different class. I'm not sure what it is. I haven't played this. It's been a while since I've touched this mod, so I have no idea what any of this is. Duking out quite the fight. I don't know how many ships I've lost at this point, but probably a few. I'm not actually sure. We are kind of just sitting here duking it out. I'm not being very tactical about this engagement. I'm just letting my fleet battle the shit out of them. So, who knows where we're at. Actually, this can make a good screenshot too. Alright, I got 3 screenshots to choose from. Don't judge me. Anyways, back to The Force Awakens. Or, excuse me, back to The Last Jedi. I'm not going to talk too much about Luke because, well, what they did with Luke is what they did with Luke. And, I don't know, I'm not going to say I don't hate what they did. It's just, it was like I wasn't expecting to like what they did because in my mind I knew... escape pods. In my mind, I kind of like, yeah, both the escape pods. Heck, evil bastards. We don't capture nobody. You don't get to escape. I've never seen escape pods before. That's actually kind of cool. Man, their fleet got wrecked. Legit, their fleet got wrecked, bro. They didn't hold very well through that battle at all. They've got a lot of fighters though. I think my fighter wing got obliterated. Probably because I don't have... Well, actually, I have a lot of interceptor squadrons versus my bombers. I don't have very many bombers. I have a lot of anti-fighter fighters. But... they have X-Wings? What? They've got X-Wings in their fleet, bro. What the heck is going on here? What is that? I don't know what that is, but it's shooting a lot of missiles and torpedoes and shit. Or I'm shooting missiles and torpedoes and shit. I don't even know. Just let them go. They're gonna jump away, so don't worry about it. Let's just go to the planet. Oh man, they almost took out my Viscount. Look, the Viscount almost died. It lost all its shields and almost died from its hull damage. Almost, but they couldn't quite kill it. It does have 61,000 shields, so it's pretty tanky shield-wise. Let's just take this. Goodbye, refugees. We're taking your planet. Anyways, my second favorite scene in The Last Jedi was probably the scene where Kylo kills Snoke, which was Now, some of my friends said that, I think I know some people who said they were expecting Kylo to kill Snoke. Honestly, can say I was not expecting him to kill Snoke. Honest to goodness, I was not expecting him to do that. I mean, not in this movie. I was expecting him to do it maybe in another movie, sure. But not in this movie. I was expecting them to explain Snoke in this movie. Like, explain who he was, give him some backstory, but instead, he just died. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Snoke's an evil bastard and all whatnot, but it's just weird that they just killed him off in this movie. I was just not expecting him to do that in the slightest. But I suppose, you know, they're going for a particular They're going for, they wanted to, this, forgot, was it Ryan Johnson? I can't even remember. Is that the guy who made the movie? Shit, I don't know. I'm not good at remembering those kind of things. But anyways, whoever made the movie, he went for a very specific way he wanted to make the movie, and I'm gonna say I didn't hate it. It was a good movie. Oh my god. Ugh, I'm dying. Force be with me. Jesus. Anyways, but the scene where Snoke dies, and then Kylo and Rey join forces and fight the Praetorian Guard or whatever. That scene was pretty badass. I'm gonna give it. It was badass. It was funny. For a moment, I didn't even think much. I was like, oh my gosh, Ben has joined the light again. But then I really thought about it, and I was like, wait. Ben earlier was clearly ready to like beat the shit out of Snoke. Like he was pissed. Like he didn't like Snoke. He was mad at Snoke. So that killing of Snoke may not so much have been I am part of the light. This is what I must do to protect people. As much as I just don't like him. He's being a douche to me. He doesn't see my true power. I will be better than him, kind of a thing is what I think it was supposed to represent. And clearly he did the Sith thing. He did the Sith thing, guys. He killed his master and assumed his position and almost took on a Padawan, which would have been Rey. But of course, Rey being conflicted, she is conflicted. Clearly, she dabbles with both the dark and the light a lot throughout this movie. Clearly. Although she is quite conflicted, it's very obvious to note that she did choose the light in that instance. She chose not to join Kylo and, be evil. Now, the question of, I've heard some other people say that, I've heard some other people make comments that, well,
we have finished a planetary upgrade.
Having some weird fleet income issues there. But I've heard some people state that they think that Kylo it was actually planned in a sense that Kylo was going to do that and that he was going to take over. Now, do I think that's true? I really don't know. Honestly, it's hard to say. I'm really not sure to think about it. Really am not sure what to think. It's definitely an interesting concept. Man, my income has been shot. It's all that fleet upkeep for that fleet size right there, boys, that I'm not even using because my fleet's all small and broken right now. My fleet is crippled. My fleet is crippled. It's dying. Anyways, I didn't build a trade port at the last place. I also didn't build those at the last place either. Tisk tisk. What kind of professional gamer am I? I don't even build my things. There is some culture coming in this direction. I'm going to build a culture station here just in case. We are leeching over my 20-minute standard I'm going now for most of my videos. So in the next episode, I will continue my discussion of The Last Jedi. Even if it is a month late. But I'm going to keep talking about it because why not? I haven't talked about it anywhere else. Or I'm going to. So I'm going to do it. But also... Good God, my voice is just not holding up very well. We will continue our push. Clearly, we are the winning, I think, right now. Because the Pentastar alignment probably has, I'm thinking, judging by the way these planets have been set up, I'm assuming there's probably going to be a planet like right there, maybe. So it's probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 planets left. After I take this one, which you will see me take in the next episode. So thanks for watching, guys. And I hope you enjoyed. And have a wonderful day. May the Force be with you. Hey guys, make sure to like and share the video. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel or check out my Patreon, make sure to check out those links on the left side there. If you'd like to check out this series from the very beginning or another series that I'm doing, check out the links on the right. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.